Hey, we're live.
Good morning. How we doing? It's
Well,
9
I'm
a.m.
about to be doing a lot better.
We got something
Today
good
is the battle of the breakfast burritos.
We're bringing it back.
We tried to do
Ellis Tech.
Ellis Teca, but Ellis Teca's breakfast burritos do not get up before 9 a.m.
Apparently not. Yeah. Pulled up. I was like, what's going on here? There's no one here.
Like, what's it?
They open at
Didn't
9.
work.
Don't
Went
blame
across the parking lot.
Yep.
Found to sell some Qdoba.
Yep.
I went to the food truck. We were trying to switch it up. Go with the Ellis Teca versus the food truck. Didn't work.
Qdoba versus Son of a Brunch.
And
Round 2.
it's a different
Yes.
Qdoba one
Yes.
this time.
Yes.
So we're switching it up.
Yep. Is it the same Son of a Brunch that you
Probably because that one's funny. You can't beat it.
It was pretty good, if I do recall.
You can't beat that one.
But yeah, we got a little burrito contest we're going to do. We got some fun dad jokes we're going to riff off a
Yeah,
little bit.
Father's Day's around the corner.
It's coming up. Don't forget.
We got an update on the Lakewood city manager
Yeah.
position.
Situation that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you want to spoil it or you want to just tease that for now?
Let's just tease that for
All
now.
right,
I want to
right.
eat burritos.
Yeah, fair. And we're going to talk about, we're going to dive into the Attorney General's opinion on the special legislative session.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to cross that out.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I didn't mean to cross out the whole line, just some of the line.
Right. Yep.
And I got some I got some takes on that as well. Then we're going to talk about the Surrey and Williston votes that took place.
What about Elon Musk's apology?
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen
He
it.
tweeted an apology.
Did he? I heard that.
I wonder if that's because attorneys are involved.
Probably. I heard Susie Wiles and J.D. Vance were trying to bridge or mend that gap.
It'd be interesting if there's this huge defamation suit versus Trump versus Musk.
That would be hilarious.
Does that like honestly it makes you not like Trump? I think Trump loses in that one.
Probably.
I feel like a lot of times, and that's if it's actually very egregious, the person doing the defamation suit is the one that looks the worst.
More often than not.
More often than not. Now, there's times where it's like, no, dude, like this person's crazy and they're going after you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's just one or two comments like that, there's clearly just an argument going back and forth online.
Yeah.
It would look worse on Trump than it would Musk.
You're probably right. That's when the petty stuff starts to come to the surface at that stage. Yeah. 100%.
If it's something that he had cast for a year and then it's like, no, that's not true. There's no base to this. That's different.
Mm-hmm. But there's also, as far as I know, some base to the comments that he's made. So
Well, it depends on who you ask.
That's
Epstein's attorney says no.
it's true. But the leak, we don't
I know.
get into that.
It's
We're
a
not
whole-
gonna get
it's a
into
whole
that.
nother
Yeah,
conversation.
that's a whole thing. So let's eat some burritos, my guy.
Yeah, in order for there to be a defamation suit, the Epstein files would have to be released.
Exactly. It'd have to be provable that it didn't.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Gosh, what? So if there's never a suit, we're never going to see the Epstein file.
Probably.
All right. So we got two burritos.
I'm going Qdoba first.
Qdoba first. Qdoba. What this one is, it is an egg and potato breakfast burrito.
I'll move my
It
mic
contain-
back.
Yeah,
You explain that. I'm going to eat it.
I'll talk about what it is. It has steak and bacon. It has chili crema for the salsa, and then it has guac, sour cream, tortilla strips, and shredded cheese. And I think and they double wrapped it because it tore a little bit.
Qdoba guac is money.
It's pretty good. I can't lie about that. So yeah, this one is a solid pick. I know I think last time we got Qdoba, we got chicken. So a little bit of a switch up in this regard. Jonathan, what's your first opinion on the Qdoba burrito?
It's delicious this morning.
Is it? That's good. That's good. My only downside with both of these, we got these about an hour ago, so they're probably not as warm as we wish they'd be.
It's not terrible though, man.
It's pretty good.
Try it out.
Qdoba's, it's always a winner. It's Qdoba.
And he takes a bite in, and he chomps down on it. And he forgot to get himself a napkin. And now he's in a really bad situation.
Yep, I screwed that one up. So yeah, very good burrito. I'll figure it out later. I'm doing a bite of pop for right now.
Oh, that's
When we
hilarious.
go to commercial in a little bit, I'll finesse that. But yeah, Qdoba's always good. Like Jonathan said, the guac is money. I love their chili crema for the salsa. That's probably my favorite one. Yeah, this is a solid one.
Yeah, no, that was actually pretty good.
Now, time for Son of a Brunch. Jonathan, can you explain this one a little bit?
This is the poultry, man. 2 ounces of 3 different meats, bacon, ham, and sausage, with sour cream and guac added in. no extra spice because that might hurt my tongue. But it it wasn't that funny. But there goes Kyler. It does have pico de gallo in it. So it's a money move, man. It's a money move. It's come through many times for me, and I expect no less today.
Oh, it was very good though. A solid combination. I can't complain. I love the combo of the meats in it. Oh, excuse me, I'm choking. Probably blowing everyone's eardrums out there. My apologies. Fantastic burrito. Son of a brunch. Always does a great job. Trying not to die. Jonathan's got me rolling over here, talking about too much spice for ourselves over here. I like some spice. I like a little kick to her. Jonathan, how's the burrito going so far as he's chomping down over there?
It's delicious.
Is it? That's good. It was always delicious. I can't argue with the son of a brunch.
I'm actually struggling with the decision today, though.
Yeah, I know. These are both very, very good. I think I'm leaning Qdoba this morning.
I do need to spice up my life. Theater and stream.
I think I'm leaning Qdoba this morning.
So this is where I'm at on this today.
One bite. Everybody knows. Well, I better not say that. It might be trademarked.
I went 2 bites. Here's the deal. I like the mixture of the food truck better.
Sure. I do like the meat mix there.
And it all comes together better. I like honestly, the flavor of Qdoba pop today.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that is keeping Qdoba in it. So if I would have added some salsa or something like that and actually did spice up my life, probably would be crying. Tears would be dripping down my face, but I might have enjoyed it.
Might have put it over the top. I think one thing that really helps with it too is, again, they're a little lukewarm maybe for preference, but because they've sat for a while, been able to really mold those flavors together.
This is true. When you get it right away,
it
doesn't work so well sometimes.
Everything's a lot more separated, and for better or for worse. But I really like it when it's able to sit and everything can kind of start coming together a little bit better and mold together and merge, and you can really, I'm leaning Qdoba today. That's my pick this morning.
It's this Saturday, day before Father's Day. If someone wants to go out, grab a breakfast burrito for the dad or for someone else, where should they go?
Son of a brunch or Qdoba?
No, which one?
Oh, Qdoba for me, of course. Qdoba? Yeah. North Hill Qdoba specifically. I go there all the time. Those ladies are fantastic, do great work.
I'm going to stick to my guns. Son of a brunch.
Son of a brunch.
That's where they need to go.
Son of a brunch.
You be good. All right. So,
hey, Jonathan,
Father's Day special going on today.
What did the farmer say when he lost his tractor?
Are there any consequences to this game?
People stop watching. Whoop-de-doo.
No, I'm saying like the first one laughs has to.
I've already died laughing this morning. I almost choked.
I know. This is in my. I have a chance here. Do you get to take an ice bath if you like? Is there any consequence like that? Obviously, we can't do that one because we already have one of those. I ain't doing 2.
That's fair. I feel like an ice bath is a little excessive for a dad joke.
Maybe a pie in the face.
I'll do that. I don't care.
You can do a pie in the face.
Yeah.
If you laugh first, you get a pie in the face.
Sure. I'm fine with this.
Okay.
Okay.
How many rounds are we going?
However many you want. But are we going to count like a whipped cream pie? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the pie. That's the pie.
Waste a whole real pie.
No, just a whipped cream pie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with this for sure.
Do you feel pressure? No.
No, I don't care if I laugh. I'll take the pie to the face.
It's gonna go up your nose. It'll be up there for like days.
Yeah. Every time it'll.
I've got Kyler today.
Never mind.
Kyler's getting a pie in the face, folks.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So, Jonathan, you know my first one. It's my go-to.
I don't want to remember it.
But I say this every time I get a chance to. What did the farmer say when he lost his tractor? Where's my tractor?
No way.
Laughing at my own jokes doesn't count.
No, I think it does.
No.
I think it does.
No.
All right.
No.
I used to play piano by ear. Now I use my hands.
I got an A on my origami assignment when I turned my paper into my teacher. Because origami.
I feel like you can't laugh at your own jokes.
Okay.
It's a new rule going
Stop.
forward.
I'll
Because that's the
shut
time
up.
you can let out the pressure of laughing is on your own jokes.
I suppose. All right. I'll shut up.
I don't trust stairs.
Why?
They're always up to something.
What did my dad say when he put the car in reverse?
I wasn't there.
Ah, this takes me back.
For real.
Got another loaded?
I'm looking for the good one that I have.
Oh no, he's lost them already.
Why do cows wear bells?
Why?
Because their horns don't work.
Okay. Okay, I lose. I accept that, L. That was a good one. Why? Why did the egg have a day off? Because it's Friday. Do one more. I got one more. So.
Parallel lines have so much in common.
Why?
No, they do. It's just a shame they'll never meet.
Yeah. That one got me. I'm dead for dad jokes. They're terrible for me. Have you ever heard about the very fragile myth? Well, it was busted.
That's fair. That's fair.
When are we going to do the pie in the face? Should we do it after the debate?
Just when we're...
I can get another one here.
This is a classic. I lost it. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school?
No.
Yeah, it's fine. It all worked out. He woke up.
Nice. Here's one for all the moms out there. It's not easy being a mom. Otherwise, dads would do it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You get that one.
What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
What?
Sophisticated.
Ah!
All right.
If we still had the soundboard, we'd hit the...
Yeah.
Hit the
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, I love it. It's been fun. This is
All right,
this
yeah.
is a great morning. I'm
Father's
ready
Day
for
this
it.
weekend, man. That was our Father's Day special. Burritos. I probably should have done donuts, but burritos and dad jokes.
Next, not counting Tuesday, the next time you're on, we'll do donuts again.
All right. Could be a bit. All right.
We'll figure that out later.
We'll figure that out. So, big news, though, out of Washington.
That's a state.
The state of Washington.
That's on the West Coast.
Lakewood, to be exact.
That's a city in Washington.
So, what happened?
Our city manager applied for the same position there.
Yes, which the same position being city manager. And they had interviews. Matter of fact, I believe he's out there. What's crazy is it's really hard to find any media concerning the event that happened.
Yeah, so like one thing,
You know.
people in Minot might complain a little bit about things being less than transparent.
But they have us.
Yeah, we're here.
We couldn't find
Anyone
a form of us out there.
even talking about it, even like writing about it.
We were like, we talked about kiddingly on the show, going out there. And now we should have, because the article would have been viewed.
We would have been the only media like actually
Reporting on this.
Yeah.
From what we can find. Maybe there's something somewhere else. But we searched names. We did our,
Like, no
we
one
went to stuff where, sites where they had other coverage concerning the process, but there's nothing
because
about.
from 2 days ago now.
Yeah,
It was
2
on
days ago.
Tuesday. And no one in Lakewood had put an article out on it yesterday.
We came across, though, an executive session that was held by City of Lakewood.
First off, thing took 9
It was a
hours
9-hour
for
executive
an
session.
executive session.
I'm not sure how that worked. I don't know if they did that and went into interviews. We're not sure exactly what
I would
happened.
just tell you for fact, if Minot had a 9-hour executive session, there'd be
Well, the thing is
Yeah, possibly.
it had to be that those interviews. It had to start
I
at
would
9 a.m. or
assume-
something.
I'd assume as much, yeah.
Nonetheless, got to the end of it. There was a motion that was made. motion was for a guy by the name of Doug Russell, I believe, out of Kalispell, Montana, to become the next city manager of Lakewood. And that means, why is this news to us here in Minot? Because that means that
we got to keep Harold.
We got to keep our city manager.
Good.
And that's awesome.
I'm glad. I like Harold.
Yeah, I like our city manager.
Yes, I think that's good. I'm glad he's staying, at least for now.
Well, for now.
For now.
Yep, he's not going to Lakewood.
Yes, exactly.
So that's I think that's kind of big news, because obviously it was news when he was a finalist there. So there's still contract negotiations and all that have to happen with the person that city council moved on.
There's always the chance he turns it down too.
Right.
Not high chance, but it's a chance.
There's a chance. But very interesting there. Sounds like we get to keep our city manager for a bit longer. I think that's good. I think right now we're in a lot of turmoil in the city, a lot of changeover. Maybe not turmoil, but a lot of changeover. Yeah. We are in a lot of changeover.
Yeah, a lot of things happening over the last, 8 months and into the next 3.
It'd be fantastic to keep him through this budget cycle.
Yeah.
After that, I understand if it's time for him to move on, if it's just not the great fit. But if we had a new mayor,
I'd like to get the rest of the year out of him.
Potential, 7th, missing a dude. There's a chance there's no 7th guy or lady, just 7th person that's added to city council.
There's a chance
until next election.
Yeah.
No, there's a strong chance.
Yeah. Like if they don't agree, it just you have to find someone that 4 out of the 6 agree on, and
that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, 100%. Especially post mayoral election when 3 of them just ran against each other.
Yeah,
and in this specific instance, one of them won.
And they're gonna be in the middle. Budget. There could be stuff that literally doesn't get added to the budget simply because 3 votes. What a mess that'd be, huh? It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait to watch it just play out the rest of the year.
Yeah,
we're gonna
it's gonna be some good discussion.
Yeah, we're gonna be sitting back here just waving flags, letting her rip.
Yeah, Deanne says she gets the feeling that Harold doesn't like us though. I hear you. I hear you on that one, but I think it all comes down to the relationship between him and council. I think that's where it resides at. I don't know that. I think he likes Minot. Mm-hmm. I think he genuinely does.
I think Harold comes off a little cold and maybe
Tyler was a hot take
just a hair, I don't even want to say argumentative. He just comes. When you talk to Harold, and I've done so a few times throughout the last year, I like Harold. He's a nice guy. I think he really is pretty down to earth. He's a father. I just think he's maybe, I don't know. I'm an awkward guy, so I can't say too much in that regard. But I just feel like there's maybe a part of him that isn't.
I come back against
forward
that.
Going.
This is where I come back against it.
Come back.
I agree. At the city count, like when he's at the dice.
Yeah.
When you talk to him one-on-one, very personal.
Yeah.
Very nice, very friendly.
100%. That's.
I think it's more business mode. He's just very direct, and there's not as much.
This is what we're doing.
Yep. Yeah. And that's fair. That's just how he gets it done.
I agree. I think that, and watching him from the dais over video or live, it can come off as if it's a stern kind of thing. But talking to Harold, he's a nice guy. I like Harold, and I think he does a good job.
Absolutely.
But again, if things have to go that way, hopefully we can at least get him for the rest of the year. And that way we can get through big budget cycle and whatever happens post mayoral election August 5th, which make sure you get out and vote August 5th, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., only day that they're voting because no one thought to include early voting in this election.
Kyler's not sad about that at all.
Not even a little. Nope.
Okay. What's next, man?
What do we want to go? Let's a couple quick ones. On Tuesday, we mentioned a vote that was happening out in Surrey. Once again, we overestimated voters. I thought there would be at least 100 people that showed up to the polls. There was not. There was about 55 plus 18. So
Two pies in his face.
73 people showed up to vote in Surrey. It did pass, however. So Surrey's sales tax will be up to 8.5% now.
Do you think people complain?
Of course, people will always complain, but it passed resoundingly, 55 yes to 18 no. So, I mean,
I feel like your demeanor has changed over the past year.
Yeah.
I feel like a year ago you would have been optimistic.
Of course.
And now you're like, yeah, people are going to complain about this.
Of course they are. What I got to lose anymore? It don't matter.
It was around a year ago that we went live for like 3 hours on primary night.
Yeah, it's probably like, was it the 14th or something?
I don't know.
But yeah, that was a fun night.
It was something. Yeah, so potentially 8.5%, I believe.
Yep, it'll be up to 8.5%. City of Surrey is going to be getting some rework done for a lot of their water and sewer systems.
Yay! They'll be so happy. Yeah. Honestly, it could have been actually necessary. I'm not as fluent with what's going on in Surrey. It could have been necessary.
Yeah, genuinely, this might have been something that was very much needed, especially with how much Surrey's expanded in the last few years. But another vote that took place on Tuesday was Williston's school board election, and
how'd that go?
Largely, it went, as kind of expected. I think there was like 6 candidates running. One of them was for a special kind of election because one of their school board members had passed away earlier in the year, so that one was for a different kind of term than the other ones. Yeah. And
wait! How'd they handle that?
I believe they had an election. So there was 4 total seats open. 3 of them were for the full term, and 1 of them was for the abbreviated
So somebody
term.
actually ran separately.
Here's the thing: the person was running unopposed until 3 weeks ago. Someone threw their hat in the ring as a write-in candidate, and guess what?
They won.
They did. It was wild. They had like 900 some votes. They ended up winning the election. I guess it's technically unofficial still, but like that's crazy to see. A write-in candidate went and beat the.
Can you have write-in candidates in a special election? You couldn't. You had to have the signature still.
I think so. I would assume.
I have no idea.
You want to do it?
Wouldn't that be a huge twist?
Jonathan Starr announces
no, not
late
me.
bid for.
I'm just saying somebody.
If anyone did it, announces last minute bid for mayor as write-in candidate.
Like the rest of city council's just like, let's just do this.
Let's do it. Throw every stick in the fire. Every little spoke in the wheels getting tore up.
So that's interesting because we might be dealing with that next year.
Yeah, 100% though. This could be something at least very vaguely as a parallel.
I'm pretty much resigning to the fact that if Josiah doesn't win the race, that 3-on-3. Pretty much resigning to that. I could be terribly wrong on this one. And I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong because there's a chance they can come together. But it just...
Prove us wrong.
Yeah, it just
Prove us wrong.
It just seems like there's going to be too much at stake. Yeah. If there weren't, the more... you're in the middle of budget.
I know.
And there's already tabled motion.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's going to turn into a 3-3 deal.
Prove us wrong, please. I would love to be wrong on this.
Yes, I would be. I would love to be wrong.
Yes, this one especially.
I don't want it.
No.
I want a 7-member council.
Yes, I want it yesterday. I want it 2 months ago, but here we are. You know what? I don't care.
So
I'm
doing
I'm happy.
I'm doing interviews, right, with candidates.
Yeah.
Those are supposed to be coming out any day. One of the ideas that I threw out there was like, what about the mayor just had a 1.5 vote?
Oh,
yeah, because it wouldn't matter if you had a 7-member council.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
But then when you have an uneven council or an even council, then the mayor's votes more.
I like this. I like this thought.
Then you don't have this deal with 3-3 votes.
Yeah, I could go with that. I like that. I like that.
I think if
the mayor would have, that would give them so much more. In this specific instance, generally,
it very, very rarely would it ever give them more power.
Yes, in this specific instance, it would be incredibly important.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, 98% of the time, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like that, folks. This guy, Jonathan Starr, folks, he's got some ideas. I tell you what.
This one wasn't our idea.
I do like that one.
All
what
right.
else do we want to roll into here?
Let's go to a break, and then we'll come back and talk state and national stuff.
Sounds good to me.
All right, perfect. We'll be back in a minute and a half.
Bye.
In the demanding world of oil and gas, precision, safety, and efficiency are non-negotiable. Unmanned operator drone services revolutionizes how you monitor, inspect, and manage your operations. With cutting-edge technology and expert operators, we deliver real-time data, detailed reports, and actionable insights for our valuable clients. Why risk the safety of your team or waste precious time? Our drones access even the most challenging areas with ease, reducing downtime and enhancing safety across your sites. We take the guesswork out of your projects by offering LiDAR, mapping, and inspection services so that your projects stay safe, on budget, and on time. Unmanned operator drone services, where technology meets safety, precision, and efficiency. Contact us today to elevate your operations. Yes, pun intended.
Enjoy enjoy Minot's finest authentic Mexican cuisine with a view at Mi Mexico. The rooftop patio is open and ready for you to enjoy a margarita or other cool refreshment along with genuine mouth-watering Mexican entrees. Mi Mexico, South Broadway.
Wasting away in Margaritaville. Every time I see the margarita part of the Me Mexico ad, that's all I think of. Love Jimmy Buffett. Oh, speaking of music, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys died yesterday. That was sad. I love the Beach Boys. Remember that time we referenced them on here and you didn't get it? That was funny.
Not surprising.
But yeah, rest in peace, Brian Wilson. Mike Love, the man himself, is still kicking, so he'll be angrily leading the Beach Boys around on tour till he kicks the bucket too, I'm sure.
They still tour?
Yeah. There's like one original guy, and he's like 80, and he's not nice. Al Jardine might still be there too, I don't know. But sometimes they get John Stamos to play the drums.
You mentioned a bunch of names I don't know.
I know. So yeah. Welcome back. We're out of break. Clearly, this show is just off the rails today. We're having fun with it. Hope you're having fun with it too. Thanks everyone for watching. Definitely appreciate every single one of you for doing this, as always. Really means a lot when we have a consistent amount of people that get to watch with us every day. But we're going to jump into our next topic.
Yeah, Miranda Schiller mentioned Mayor used to only vote to break ties in the previous model.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was something that we've talked about too, but
do we add another? No, I'm not going to suggest that idea. I was going to say we add another council member and make it 8, and I don't like that. I don't like it.
So then
even less powerful.
What? Right, and then at that point, the mayor only votes to break tie.
Yeah. Yeah. Back when we had 14, there was 7 wards, and each ward had 2 people or something. And yeah, it was kind of confusing. So often people wouldn't even run; they had to appoint people. People would run unopposed. It was a mess. But yeah, we totally.
See, I'm kind of thinking. I kind of like it because I am for a proponent of expanding the role of the mayor a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like if you did that, perhaps I'm totally wrong in this, but in the back of my mind, it's like maybe people would care more.
Maybe,
but they won't.
No, they won't. Of course not. People don't. But it would maybe give the air of the mayor a little bit more gravitas at that point. It would have a little bit more gravity of what he can do instead of just being the face of Minot in another vote. I don't know. Because I don't know if I necessarily would say, give him everything the city manager does, but I feel like him just being the 7th council member that is just the forward-facing one that leads the meeting.
And perhaps has more meetings with city manager or something like that.
Yeah. Like I feel like there could be another step or 2 there that they're given.
I feel like that. But anyways, I just don't understand city government. So
yeah, no, clearly we don't. We've been doing it for over a year now, and we still don't know what we're talking about. Let's start. There was one interesting story that I came across yesterday when I was scrolling through this. I was scrolling on my Instagram yesterday, and one of the accounts I follow called Tesseron News posted something about North Dakota, and I was like, "Whoa, what? I live there. I haven't heard about this."
Really?
Yeah, we do. We're in Minot. So there's this company called what is it? UNFI, the United Food. Where is it here?
UNFI.
Yes. And so they're one of the biggest food distributors, UNFI, the United Natural Foods Incorporated. Oh. They're one of the biggest food distributors for Cub and Whole Food stores. So there's a lot of stores around the state that rely on them as a distributor. And, bigger stores, Walmart, even like Sam's Club, Costco, Cashwises, they don't need to worry. They have multiple places they get supplies from.
Yeah, they get Ritz crackers and Cub crackers.
You're darn right they do.
Not comparable.
However, there are some smaller stores, some convenience stores, mom and pop kind of shops around the state that have already been pretty affected by this so far.
And how are they affected? Because it's this cyber attack, but how does that affect my food?
So here's the thing. It's the cyber attack went and took down parts of their logistics system and the point of sale request part of it. So when an item gets sold from a store, in theory, they
don't know about it.
No, it gets automatically added into the list of things that they need to reorder.
Right.
Now, because of the cyber attack, those haven't been going through. So these stores haven't been able to be getting new product in. And on top of that, now that it's been figured out, they have to start getting, they have to do the manual orders for everything. So they have to write everything that they need down.
So it's a immediate deal, but it's not that big of a deal.
No.
But it is a huge deal in that there's a cyber attack and all that. There's that part of it.
There's bigger
But now that it just took them too long to become aware of it.
I think that's the big, it happened June 5th. From what I could tell, they found out June 9th, and then it first came out. I saw it yesterday on the 11th. So it's one of those, it's already starting to affect places. There's like 100 stores around the state that have started to have some issues. I think in like Turtle Lake, places like that.
It's terrible.
Yeah, the ND News Co-op was the first one to get it, and the forum.
Michael Standard.
Yeah, Michael Standard, the man himself. We've had, if you know, you know, and really interesting story with that, because I think there's a bigger picture here. Is what it means.
Kyler's all about bigger pictures today.
I am,
aren't you, Tyler?
So there's a bigger picture with this all. There's the issue of obviously people not getting groceries in places that need it, not like they can't go to a bigger city to get those groceries. But there's the whole, what does this mean for other industries and other companies? Like say these cyber attacks happen on a mass scale to multiple logistical sites at a time. So you have Amazon, UPS get attacked and their sites go down. Their logistics outreach sources aren't working. So all of a sudden the distribution centers don't know what to send where and places start getting backed up. I'm just saying these are the little things that could start to add up into a bigger thing.
You're right. Might make people stop spending so much money.
Good luck with that. Consumerism is too high today. People wouldn't know what to do without things. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But again, interesting story I saw yesterday. It sounds like it'll probably be another week or so till it gets fully resolved. But after that, should be fine for everything I can tell on that. So if you are affected by that, sorry to hear that.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you're getting everything you need still. If there are bigger issues, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Kyler will write a story.
I will. I did yesterday. I hustled that one out too.
Way to go, Kyler.
Thank you.
Way to be a journalist.
I know. I think I am at this point. There's like 2 things I've released that make me think that. But what do you want to go to now? Do you want to go to the Attorney General, or do you want to go to that Catholic employer ruling?
Let's go to the Attorney General.
All right, let's do it.
What a guy.
So on Tuesday, we talked about this, because obviously we talked about this when it first happened. You have the governor.
This is terrible.
Yeah, I think this is a complete egregious overreach of power. So you have the governor who made a veto of a line item. It was supposed to be $150,000 of this $35 million housing budget, for just make it simple. And instead he crossed out the whole line, the entire $35 million.
There's no way the governor did that. It had to be an assistant.
I bet it was.
Okay.
Also, I've heard things that maybe he's not the most careful person, but that's a whole different story.
I don't think he's crossing out stuff.
He probably didn't actually do it himself. Yeah, no, I doubt it. So the intentions that they wrote with all the vetoes, they specify what they're vetoing. And, and that's typical for everything. But when they actually looked at it, it's like, hey, you're saying you're only vetoing $150,000, but you crossed out the entire item on the bill. Like, what are we doing here? These things don't add up together. So the Legislative Council comes together and they put out their opinion end of last week. And they say the best way to rectify this is to call a special session, bring everyone back together so we can override it and do it the right way. And already as of last Friday, the attorney, before he had issued his opinion, the Attorney General was saying that the Legislative Council has they're not supposed to be giving direction on this. This is out of their purview. This is things that they shouldn't even be worrying about or having to touch.
But for some reason, it sounds like, in theory, that it would be in their purview.
You would think, the interim session committee that you have would be interested in saying when there could be an interim session that came to be. But if they did call a session, I saw the number, I think it was $65,000 a day it would cost, which that's a lot of money. But also, when you have a state that has a $20.3 billion budget, what's less than $100,000?
Yeah.
It's pennies, and we can take that out of the legacy fund if we had to, which they already have money budgeted away for interim sessions anyways. But that's
Tyler's solution to most things is just use the legacy fund.
Do something with it.
But anyways, I'm still listening.
Yes, anyway, I hope everyone else is too. So he comes out with his opinion yesterday. And long story short, he says that there's no need for a special session. He says the veto is clear and unambiguous, and that the way that it was explained should null and void any kind of crossing it out. And that should be where it lies, shouldn't have to worry about it. And that should be the end of it, because he said, what did he, there's been a bit of a tempest created in all of it, but what the governor did was a very modest veto. It was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be.
But it
wasn't.
But according to the Attorney General, who's the highest legal authority in the state, it was. So I guess we're wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know that. I don't know nothing. But I thought lawyers always talk about setting precedent for things, and they don't want to do that if you don't have to in legal terms and legal.
I don't even understand though why this is a big deal. I'll go the opposite take.
Sure.
All that needed to happen was be like, hey, we messed up. We're sorry. We're going to call a special session. There's a couple other things we want to take care of too.
Yeah.
We'll get this in there.
Get it in. Get it done.
That's all that had to happen.
Yeah.
But instead, we're saying, no, it's a mistake, but it's not that big of a mistake because of intent.
Mm-hmm. So now you're setting precedent where you're having to define not just, you have to define intent now, and it has to, and you don't have to worry about
just get rid of line item vetoes.
Yeah. And just write it down now.
And then they'll be like, 500 more bills because people will make their bills less, so that way a line item veto is less likely.
It's not necessary. Yeah, every single bill gets individualized then. Nothing gets conglomerated and shoved together.
And some people would love that.
Yeah. But also then we'd have like 1,400 bills a session because everybody's still got to get there. Probably. You're probably right. Probably be closer to 2,000.
Already we had a ton.
Yeah, it'd just be nuts.
It'd be nuts. Yeah, I don't know, man. This just feels like the AG is trying to protect somebody, but
really feels like you're setting a precedent here that you don't need to. Because Senate Majority Leader David Hogue from Minot, who is an attorney, said that this is something that he says he doesn't want there to be any uncertainty about these issues. These are some things that you can't be ambiguous with. Like, you've got to be straightforward. And if it shows up ambiguous and a little cloudy, all of a sudden in the future, anything that shows up ambiguous or a little cloudy, you just got to ask the AG what it should be, and he's going to say it's fine.
And he knows people's intent.
Of course, he can guarantee what anyone's intent was. Apparently,
that's why you got to be AG.
Yeah, clearly, because there's another side of this whole thing too. We've talked about it. I've talked about it a little bit before.
Kyler's passion project right here.
Yeah, next 6 months, I got to figure something out with it. We got this thing called the NDIC, the North Dakota Industrial Commission. We've talked about it before. It's a 3-man board. It's the governor, the attorney general, and the agriculture commissioner. This thing has its fingers in almost every aspect of the government in North Dakota. They take part in giving out grant money. They take part in doling out funds all across the board. And the interesting thing with this $35 million housing fund, effectively, just to, again, make it easy, more simple, was all dished out and budgeted to the NDIC. And it boggles my mind that the NDIC is the one that doles out all of the grant money for, or maybe not necessarily grant money, but all of the money from housing assistance in the state. I just don't understand why it has to be on the NDIC to do all of these things. They hand out grant money for different research projects, whether it be aerospace, any kind of oil and gas. And remember, any kind of oil and gas grant money they hand out. They are in charge of oversight on a lot of different of the Bank of North Dakota and the state mill. They do a lot, and this is just another part of their budget. So here, I find this could be remotely seen as a potential conflict of interest, because you have 2 of the 3 people. This is a quorum of this committee or commission. One of them does a line item veto of a budget item from the commission, and another who there's arguments that it might need to be rectified in a different way comes forward and says, hey, I think the way he did it is fine and he's right. I think you could argue that this is a conflict of interest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Got to be careful there. Marvin Nelson says, according to law, intention figures pretty low. What figures very high is the text. The entire section was in a drawn box crossed out. So the effect on the text, the bill is pretty clear. Well, yeah. I would assume. I'm a newbie, but if you put it in a box and cross it out,
that means it's all gone.
It's gone.
What comes back?
Yeah, just call the special session, get it taken care of.
You don't even need everyone to come back. Just make sure you got a majority, or not a plurality.
Just make sure you got all the people that are going to say yes.
Yeah, and you're done. Get your people to come in there, say yes. You don't need the 12 Dems to come do it. You don't need the rich.
Kyler's on something today.
Like just,
dude.
What's the
that
point?
Qdoba burrito got him.
Yeah, it was that got me fired up. I promise.
Yep. Too much spice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that chili crema salsa that really put it over the top. But I don't know. Again, just to wrap it up, I don't love how this was handled.
No, I don't love this either.
I don't love the Industrial Commission, and I don't love that 2 of the 3 people from the Industrial Commission are pretty much having sole hand in determining what the budget is for it in this specific instance.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Rant over on the NDIC. If you have comments or questions on the NDIC, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'd love to read them. I'll make sure I go back and actually read this comment section.
He normally does. Kyler's actually very good about reading the comment section.
I do. I read them all. They make me happy. Seeing everyone that likes to talk to us, I appreciate that, every single one of them. But I don't know. I don't want to go down further on this. I'm just going to keep talking about.
All right.
the NDIC.
There's another one. There's another Catholic employers.
That was an interesting one. Yeah, the North. This was something that was brought up a couple months ago, I think. The Catholic employers can't be forced to provide gender-affirming care. A federal judge in the state ruled. So the judge blocks federal rules on religious grounds. He ruled that the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission can't require the Catholic Benefits Association to provide or pay for gender-affirming care, citing the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. So if you're trying to go anything with that and you want to go through the Catholic services, they are not required to help. The rules were challenged under anti-discrimination laws. Words are hard. The federal rules were designed to prevent discrimination against transgender individuals under the Affordable Care Act and Civil Rights Act. However, the court found that requiring religious employers to comply without guaranteed exemptions imposes undue burdens on their religious exercise. So this is they're going much more towards the religious freedom side of this than forcing equity, I guess, for lack of a better term. I don't know if that's the right way to put it necessarily, but there's a little bit some more context to it. The ruling adds to a series of nationwide setbacks for federal prosecutors that are in relation to gender identity, abortion, and fertility treatment, I guess. These developments coincide. Gosh, I'm struggling with words today, my guy.
I was there recently.
With broader rollbacks of transgender rights under the Trump administration, including limits on gender-affirming care and a gender federal policy. So yeah, this is just part of a much bigger picture of everything that's kind of happening nationwide, for better or for worse, against all of these issues. This is the North Dakota version of it. That this came up again a couple months ago at first, where I assume I don't know if there was an issue that was presented with it, or if this was just something that the church and the agency decided, hey, we want to make sure that we're protected if this does come up for us.
Yep.
And
interesting local news tonight, 5:30. There's talk about water mains. City talk.
Those are underground.
Neighborhood meeting.
What
the
time?
Learning Tree. 5:30.
Where's that?
Close to Minot State.
All right. Are you going to be there?
No.
Fair.
I was planning on being, and then I realized I had a scheduling conflict. And Kyler's not going to be there. Where are you going to be, Kyler?
I'm going to be at the spot at the mayoral meet and greet tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, from 5 to 7. So
Got the big questions you're going to ask?
I'm just going to walk around.
Ooh, are you going to survey people?
No, not there. Not that. Not all 4 candidates. If all 4 candidates are there, if Rob's there, I'll do it maybe.
Should you? Yeah, you should survey the candidates who they're going to vote for.
Ask the candidates who they. Wow, I'm going to get 4 different answers.
What if you didn't?
What
about one of them's voting for their competitor?
I'd be pretty shocked, frankly.
Me too.
That'd be
no,
nuts.
but you are going to try to do a survey in July?
Yeah, yep. Again, closer to the election, I plan on doing another survey or round of polling, trying to see how Minot's interest is getting more peaked when we're getting more into the full election cycle, when people have more knowledge on the candidates. It'll be post-debate. It'll be a couple weeks out to the actual debate itself. And at that point, to the election itself. And at that point, people should have a lot better idea of what's going on.
Your dad jokes finally got somebody.
Woo! Someone like
water mains. Those are underground. K Hits 106.9, laugh out loud.
Oh, Minot's freshly nostalgic radio station going to be also live streaming our debate on Tuesday. Big shout out to Joe and Tom there. Love you guys. You guys do great work. Can't wait to work with you guys more in the future here with the debate on Tuesday.
Yes, that's going to be a good time.
It will be.
That's going to be happening at the Mouse River Players Theater.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. when doors open. There's going to be some appetizers. There's going to be some candidates that you can meet and greet.
Yeah, if they're willing and free.
And then at 7 p.m., there's going to be a debate that's going to start. It's going to be on YouTube, on Facebook, and on the radio, 106.9.
Freshly nostalgic, K-Hits 106.
Kyler takes this as a interview opportunity. Going to be sending out his highlight reel.
Yeah, this is
especially nostalgic.
Gosh, my highlight reel. What am I in the news? I'm a news.
Yeah, we
man
need to
now.
get a highlight reel of Kyler. All right, very cool. Yeah, very exciting. But be sure to either, if you don't have something tonight, be sure to either be at the Learning Tree for the neighborhood meeting or
at the spot for the mayoral meet and greet.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a great night. I'll be at the spot. So if you see me, say hi. I'll try not to be too awkward with it. I promise.
On Friday, there's something else
tomorrow
gonna be going on. Kyler, you're right, buddy. You're right. Good job. All right. So on Friday, there's something else that's going on, and that is I always get this wrong. Straight Up and Toasted.
Oh yeah. That's gonna
You've
be
heard about
fun.
that?
Yeah. We had Mr. Rod Wilson on last week to talk about it a little bit. It's a big event. In part with Rebecca Neely, who's a former Minot local, and she moved down to Kentucky, married her husband, and they started a bourbon industry down there. So they've been making some fantastic bourbon, and they've been shipping it all over the country. It's been winning awards. They're going to be up here tomorrow night. It's
June 13th. Enjoy a great evening of signature bourbon, great cigars, and other spirits.
Hold on. June 13th. That's a Friday. It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and there's going to be bourbon and cigars.
Heck yeah. And there's a live and silent auction as well. They have a lot of different items that are up for bid. I know one of them is a tour and taste testing of the facilities in Kentucky, and you also get a chance to name your own barrel of bourbon.
I'll finish my ad read now.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I took it over.
Along with a chance to bid on great prizes, including a VIP tour of the Neely Distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. Tickets still available on downtownminot.com.
Yes, it's going to be great. As we've seen, I'm just throwing everything for a loop today. I'm stealing Jonathan's ad read.
It's a great time. We're loving it.
I'm having fun. This is I don't care. It's good.
Kyle doesn't care today. Well, definitely
check those out.
Definitely check those out, but definitely make sure that you have on your calendar this coming Tuesday. We'll be live 9 a.m. with normal Minot Talk, coming off of a city council meeting where it sounds like there's going to be a police chief recommendation.
Yeah.
We don't know who the recommendation's going to be, but we have a pretty good idea of who
some of
people want it to be.
Yeah. And there's been hearing some whispers behind the scenes.
Kyler's person that he wants to win.
See how close the people pay attention.
Yeah, that's probably the one that's kind of the front runner right now.
For what we're hearing behind the scenes for how some preferences are leaning. If you remember who my favorite of the three candidates were, that's who it sounds like it would be the front runner, would be the polling favorite right now.
Right now, he's the front runner, and I hope it goes well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Again, we should be getting that recommendation on Monday. We got three candidates up for, I guess there is a possibility he recommends no one, but I don't see that happening by any stretch. And yeah, we'll hopefully have some answers Monday night. I'll be a little late to the council meeting on Monday, but I will be there so long as it goes over an hour and a half. I look forward to it as always. I love the city council meetings. I always have fun with those. And then, yeah, like Jonathan said, Tuesday at 9, we're going to be live talking about whatever happened over the weekend, breaking down the city council meeting. And we'll be, of course, previewing the debate.
And today, you're going to be able to catch your first
number one
mayoral candidate interview.
When does it release?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. this afternoon.
Yeah.
Is 5 p.m. afternoon or evening?
Afternoon, so.
Okay.
Definitely. Fair. Is it afternoon?
Well, yes, but...
So it's afternoon.
He got me, everybody. He got me.
I feel like evening doesn't start till like 7.
That's probably fair. I feel like 6, 7 is probably evening, right? Yeah. after 6 for sure.
After 6 for sure.
All right. But yeah, we will definitely go over the debate format on Tuesday when we get it all finalized. We're not going to give away questions. No candidate will know any of the questions.
They'll know topics, though.
Yeah, they will know topics and how the debate will work. We'll give everyone a full rundown of that Tuesday morning. And yeah, I look forward to it.
Right.
I'm so excited for the debate. Again, being able to moderate a debate is a bucket list item for me, so I look forward to it.
That's great. Sounds good. Well, thanks for watching this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.